The 2016 Mulbarton Words Week Festival was the result of a project that started in 2014. A few members of the Village Book Club decided to try to organise a festival with a theme of words written, spoken and sung. After starting work in the spring of 2014, they staged the first festival in 2015 and were pleasantly surprised by its success. So, on to the 2016 festival, with more events and more participants from Mulbarton. Mulbarton Parish Church participating for the first time, linked to the Cafe Church event with a morning themed on the Book of Books, with plenty of refreshments on hand.
Get on the 12th, which is this Saturday, isn't it? Sunday. This next Sunday we're number 4. 4E. But it's not next month because it's not 10.
It doesn't matter what order they're in, but try and get them into Old and New Testament. I think most people have.
Try and make it encouraging.
That same Sunday, locals enjoyed the big quiz evening in the World's End. The quiz is now a regular monthly event, with the special event at the start of the Words Week Festival.
No, we haven't. We got distracted by this.
Okay, do you need me to go through that word round? Phobias.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of, also on Tuesday, which you, on your table you've got a little parcel wrapped in newspaper. Musical reading, Ben C. Wing, recommended for adults only. Filming her during. Okay, good they are. Better and bigger. They've recently thoroughly recommended. We've got a Joker already. The option is to play the Joker. Sportsman did 10,000 become. Was described as a construction site. Question 8. The choir who performed for the BBC Music Days Take It to the Bridge in Norwich on Friday. Where were they from? Reback TV show. Question 3 then. Helium. And the church beginning with H at the halfway mark for a separate prize.
Monday was the turn of 4 female novelists talking about their work with Kett's Books' Chris Brown.
I would check out who their agent was, because people normally thank their agent in the book. And I think, well, if I can get on with this author and this author gets on with their agent, I may get on with their agent. So I sort of made a short list of agents that way. And then I went to events where agents were speaking and made sure I bumped into each one of them face to face. And then I chose about 7 that I sent out.
A very accomplished actor and public speaker. And he introduced me to Keith Johnson's book, Impro, which has got a whole section on mask work. And I got obsessed with watching videos on YouTube of people doing mask work. And I've spoken to friends who are actors, it is incredible what happens to people when they get into the zone where they put a mask on and they kind of inhabit it.
I write for Cambridge University Press and Same Gauge Learning in America. And that is original fiction for people learning to speak English. So if it's a starter level, I can only use 200 words, 200 different words, and it all has to be in the present tense. Whereas if it's advanced level, I have to deliberately use really long words that I might not usually use to test people, and they go up to 50,000 words. So they're a bit like...
Dementia. Well, my grandmother, my dad's mum, has multi-infarct dementia, and she was someone that I was really interested in. I wasn't as close to her as my other grandmother, but she was someone that was quite influential in my life, and she started to decline. I think she was starting to decline before we really realised. And as kind of the symptoms of dementia became more and more obvious to us, I was just really interested.
Tuesday was the second day with 2 separate events. During the day we arranged for children's author and illustrator to spend most of the day at Mulbarton Infant School, inspiring children to think about illustrating an idea and encouraging interest in books. Tuesday evening, back again at the village hall, and the 4x4 theatre group performed a superb selection of their self-penned radio plays to amuse and entertain an appreciative
Ladies and
audience.
gentlemen, we present The Troublesome Case of Hamlet. What follows is based on a real event. Time and place, 9:30 a.m, Saturday, the Robinsons' house, Finsbury Park, London.
And another thing, Susan, you make sure you put everything back where it belongs after you've used it. I don't want to have that kitchen to reorganise when I get back from holiday. Oh, and don't forget that... I said, are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Why shouldn't I be?
Well, it's just that you seemed a bit, left out. You being the only hardback on this shelf of soft-covered books.
Paperbacks, you mean? A reflection of the contents of your book, no doubt?
What do you mean?
50 Shades of Grey. Ah, more soft porn than soft cover, I say.
That might be the case, love, but with 5 points...
Now, you might find this hard to believe, but I've just driven a very expensive car as far away from here as you can get by taking the side roads. And then I set fire to it before coming on. Now why? Well, I'll tell you. When I
Never been good at, well, anything. Then his back went. And so he decided to mothball his whites and took up sailing instead. Not real sailing, no. Those toy ones. Replicas.
We're free! And look, there's our boat. I hook it with my stick.
Wednesday was another day with 2 events. The afternoon saw a packed audience in Hanover Gardens for a tea party with author Phillida Scrivens, talking about her book, Escaping Hitler.
Well, thanks very much for coming out on such a lovely day. You could have been gardening all the time. But no, right, let me move into position. Has anybody met or seen Joe speak before? No, that's unusual, because he has been for some years now doing public talks in all sorts of places, particularly in the city and at schools and in... How did I meet this young man? There he is. That's when he was 14. He's now 91, lives in the Unthank Road, was out with me this morning talking to a townswomen's guild. We try and restrict him to 1 a day, because at 91 that's probably against the law. But this afternoon...
No. They always told me. Yeah. Everybody told me. She could. I would.
Wednesday evening saw another fully booked event, with local author and historian Jill Wright leading an absorbed crowd on a conducted tour of several of the historic buildings in the village. Many thanks to the homeowners who allowed us access to their grounds.
Well, welcome everyone, and let's hope the weather stays good. Quite a bit of what I shall be saying you will find either summarised or in full, quoted in full in the Book of Mulbarton. What it was like in 1825, and then there are later. Gives you a better idea, doesn't it? Judy's. 22 feet long and 11 feet wide, built on waste belonging to the manor. Sue was telling me that they had... I really don't want to be right at the front of all these photos, but still, I hope you'll edit me out. Now the bottom left-hand photograph is an heir. The first person to introduce the Swede beaver, who lived here for a considerable time. He was all at the same time. That was the common, which we didn't go down to see, opposite the Mulbarton. Grating, where the heating pipes were. The master was 1, the doctor was 2, the vicar was 3, don't know who was 4.
Thursday was the turn of Mulbarton Junior School to enjoy support of Words Week, with musician and songwriter Eve Barwood spending the morning working with some of the children. Some of the results would be on show at Saturday's music event. Friday was the penultimate day of the festival, with 3 guest speakers from the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, British Trust for Ornithology and Norfolk Wildlife Trust at the Village Hall talking about wildlife.
Let's welcome our 3 guests today. We've got Gemma Walker from Norfolk Wildlife Trust and Matt Howard from RSPB and Mike Thomas from the British Trust for Ornithology. Grateful for them all coming along tonight, helping us out and giving us some insight.
Initially, the scientists might be a bit nervous about that.
When I first saw it,
Oh God. I'm afraid all I can... And it's lightweight. I don't know what would be like. They say that there are no secrets.
Finally, Saturday was a day for music throughout the afternoon and evening. A variety of performances included Broadbeak Choir, soprano Emma Newell, Mulbarton Junior School children, young singer-songwriter Lana Bruce, folk singer Georgia Shackleton, comic poet Ben C. Wynne, and the ever-popular band Morganway.
When I was young, I listened to the radio, waiting for my favourite songs. When they played, I sing along, it made me smile.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel like spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual.
the moment that you speak. I wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tops running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots.
Crossroads of the A1075 and the B1108 beats the heart of the Brecklands and its arterial ramble route known as the Ancient Peddars Way. There's a town worthy of mention for its handsome